Good afternoon, everybody. We're here for the public workshop for the city's engineering standards updates. I am Clyde Coffey, Public Works Department, and I'm just going to go through quick slides. We have, at the end of the slides, we'll have anybody who has questions can come up to the podium, as well as if there's anyone online who has questions, we'll do a Q&A. So I guess I should ask if anybody online can hear me. Okay, all right, sounds good. All right, so with that, we'll move forward. So the updates to, we have to various procedures and policies that are already in place with our engineering standards. We had current engineering standards were done back in 2020, so this is the first update to those standards. Just going over an overview of it. The updates reference FDOT and FDEP manuals. It clarifies requirements for right-of-way permits to perform work within the city's drainage and road right-of-way. Clarifies directional bore requirements. Updates the uses that are allowed or prohibited in the easements. Clarifies stormwater management criteria. Updates allowable drainage pipe material, as well as adds reinforced concrete pipe as an allowed for residential driveways, and updates minimum distances to gates at the entrances for residential and commercial driveways. So the first section is roadways, section 8.3, which covers network requirements. It provides revisions to roadway network requirements, specifies new roads shall extend to parcel boundaries to allow connectivity, specifies new development shall connect to existing road subouts from the adjacent parcels. Section 8.6 provides roadway classifications by average daily trips, clarifies the access management, minimum median width, and right-of-way width by roadway classification, and provides multimodal requirements by roadway classifications. In section 8.7, which is pavement design, provides clarification to all adjustments to asphalt-based subgrade thicknesses to meet the minimum pavement structural number, and adds a minimum structural number of 1.61 for temporary parking lots. Section 8.9 clarifies the four-lane roadway and any roadway with a design speed of 45 miles or greater shall require a median. Also updates the 2-foot paver band, which used to be, it used to be a paver band, and we're changing that to a concrete band that's around the median. It also specifies the color and the pattern of the concrete band. Section 8.10 and 8.11 updates the references to FDOT Design Manual, Intersection Control Evaluation Manual, and the FDOT NCHRP Report 672. Section 8.12 adds street lighting is required when connecting a driveway to a collector, or arterial roadway. It clarifies the requirements for irrigation sleeves on driveways within a public roadway. Updates the FDOT standard plan index for driveway geometry, clarifies the requirements for tool traverse joints on concrete sidewalks, also clarifies the requirements for the forming residential concrete driveways, adds the code references for the number of access points required for residential subdivisions, and clarifies the NCHRP reference for left turn lanes. Section 8.15 clarifies the minimum sidewalk width, also clarifies the minimum thickness for concrete sidewalks, clarifies the requirements for 4-foot minimum sidewalk within a curb ramp, clarifies the traverse joints, and clarifies the procedures for installation of curb ramps with detectable warnings. Section 8.19 adds it's a new section that adds the mobility plan section and the link for the city's website address. Section 9.1 pavement marking clarifies the new striping on public roads shall follow FDOT specifications. It clarifies the milling on overlay as a preferred method for removing striping. Also clarifies that hydroblasting as a method to remove pavement marking on the final lift of asphalt is prohibited. It clarifies the black paint to remove or cover up pavement markings is also prohibited. It specifies reflective pavement marking standards shall be in accordance with the METCD. Clarifies the marked crosswalks shall be special emphasis. Section 9.1.2 specifies sign general criteria, also adds the requirements for driver feedback signs. Section 9.2 clarifies the condition and specifications for temporary span wire assemblies. It clarifies controller assembly and cabinet specifications, signal head specifications, as well as adds the 4-section flashing yellow arrow signal heads for protective permissive left turn indications, and updates the specifications for traffic monitoring camera. Also clarifies the acceptable pedestrian signal qualification, the specification for construction material of all new signal heads, qualification for leading pedestrian intervals, and adds a specification for treatment of pedestrian crosswalks at mid-block and on signalized intersections. Section 10.1 updates the references to irrigation specifications. Section 11.1 adds the requirement to evaluate connections and crossings at intersections and mid-block crossings for safe bicycle, pedestrian access to bus stops, parks, public facilities, shared use paths, sidewalks, and trails. Section 12.4 clarifies the requirements for the queuing analysis. Section 13.1 clarifies the requirements for drainage from waste and recycled facilities must be directed towards the internal drainage system. Section 14.1 adds the requirements for the revision clause on the CAD-generated documents. Section 14.2 adds references to plat review checklist in Appendix A. Section 14.16 clarifies requirements for shop drawings on all private development projects that will be eventually turned over to the city for ownership and maintenance. Section 14.18 clarifies the requirements of the operation and maintenance manuals. Section 15.2 adds the clarification language to require a performance guarantee on all work performed within the city right-of-way. Section 15.3 adds clarification language to require a maintenance guarantee for all work done within the city right-of-way as off-site improvements. Section 16.1 removes the specific response time for issuing permits. It used to be 6 months, now it's going to be 1 year. The same for Section 16.3, which is site work permits. Section 16.4 clarifies a third-party verification for authenticity of the signature on all surveys. Also clarifies the requirements for 12-inch minimum temporary pipe to be installed in the right-of-way, and clarifies the expiration time of an active permit to 1 year. Section 16.5 clarifies that the road lane closure must be provided for any roadway or sidewalk a minimum of 48 hours prior to closure. Section 17.7 adds the requirements for construction entrance location to be on the most minor roadway. Section 18.3 clarifies the requirements for the intersection of a road right-of-way into irrigation components by the city inspection. Section 19.3 clarifies the recommendation for submitting the turnover documents ahead of time for review prior to submitting official request. And this, standard details updates the pavement restoration detail. And that covers all the the updates that we have for the engineering standards. So now I'll open the room for any questions that we have. Do you have any?
Does anybody want to speak to their comments, or they just want to? Okay, so it's up to you. I mean, if you want to just, okay, I can, I'll read it. Okay, first questions, section 5.4.A.4.B, perimeter berm with 5-foot top width and 3-to-1 slope. This can be a problem for smaller sites. If project is part of a larger development, does each parcel need to comply with a 5-foot berm versus just a basin divide?
So the main reasoning behind that requirement for a 5-foot top of berm is really for maintenance aspect. We found that if the berm comes up to a peak, usually it gets scalped by the mowers, and over time that degrades the berm, as well as you get just erosion on there. So having that minimum 5-foot flat area allows the mowers to be able to maintain the berm and it, at the current, at required height.
Next question, section 5.10. Make reference to South Florida Water Management District Volume 2, may also want to include FDEP Volume 1. Water quality requirements were moved from Volume 2 to Volume 1.
Okay, I will definitely take that into consideration.
Section 8.3G, mention new roads to be perpendicular. May want to be a little flexible, maybe between 60 to 90 degrees. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that as well. I think generally all the roads, majority of the roads in the city are intersections are perpendicular. I know DOT does have a certain degree of deviation, but we could take a look at that and take that into consideration.
We have a question online. Can you please elaborate on the new requirement for driver feedback signs?
That was from our traffic ops.
Can you be more specific?
I think that generally covers the ability to put in driver feedback signs that give you your travel speed.
He's asking what is the new requirement?
We'll take a look into that. Yeah, what section was that again?
Changes to requirements. Looking for it.
That was section 9.1.2 on the signage.
It specifically adds radar speed display signs shall be traffic logic EV11 EYL-SOL or latest version as approved by the city. It gives a model 11-inch digital solar including strobe data modem with 12-month network access to Cloud4 cell backup. So it's just specifics on what needs to be provided
Okay, so
in
it's
the
supposed to be
radar
model and
speed
type.
display signs.
Thank you. Any other questions online or in the room? Okay. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. So again, thanks everybody who came in, both online and in person, and we'll definitely take these questions into consideration as we move forward with the updates. Thank you.